When I first got sober, the first thing I did was go to AA meetings, right? And not because that's something I really wanted to do, but that's what everybody told me to do, right? That's what I knew to do, right? Go to AA, go to the meetings. Even my therapist would tell me that, go to AA, and I would tell them, that's just not for me. And I didn't know then, I couldn't put my finger on it then why it wasn't for me. So I decided to go the long way, right? I knew that I had an issue with anger, so I started taking an anger management class. And from there, they told me that it would be best for me to go into that and substance abuse and domestic violence and parenting classes. It was a lot, right? Which is fine. And it all worked for me. So if that's an avenue you want to try, I would suggest to go ahead and give that a try. But it wasn't until I became pretty good on myself, not my best self yet, but I was becoming better, much better. And then I started to kind of have what some would call like a spiritual awakening, right? I started to notice the soul. I started to really appreciate God. And then I started doing some research into that. What I found was the reason I didn't like going to AA was because anytime you want to say something, they'll call on you and you have to say, "Hi, I'm Jono and I'm an alcoholic." And for me, that it just wasn't, I didn't want to say that. And some would say, well, that because you didn't want to admit that was a problem. No, I knew it was a problem. That's why I went there. That's why I started doing all the work, right? So that's why I started to go to all these classes. But there was just something about saying that. I've learned since then that what you declare, what you actually believe about yourself becomes true, whether it is true or not. Right? So by saying it and believing, "Hi, I'm Jono and I'm an alcoholic," declaring it, going to the meetings every day and declaring, "Hi, I'm Jono, I'm an alcoholic," you're putting out into the universe that you're an alcoholic. There's nothing that you can do about that. Now you can fight, using alcohol, but that's always a problem for you because you're an alcoholic. But you do match the vibration of what you put out into the universe. So if you're saying, "Hi, I'm Jono and I'm an alcoholic," what you're bringing back from the universe is that you're an alcoholic. You have a problem with alcohol. But I found that by me becoming the best version of myself, by doing the work on myself, I no longer believed that I had an issue with alcohol, right? Currently, I wouldn't say I have any cravings for alcohol. I walk into the supermarket or the gas station and I walk right by it. It's not even like a taste that I have. It's nothing that I want to do. And that's not because I haven't drank in so long or because I'm an alcoholic and I need to stay away from it. It's because this version of myself, the best version that I am being, just doesn't drink alcohol. The same way, like, I also don't eat McDonald's. I don't skip a day of working out. But that has nothing to do with me having some kind of an addiction. It has to do with me being the best version of myself. And that's why I believe, like that by becoming the best version of yourself, everything that is not for your greatest good will naturally fall off. And that's what I teach. So if you have an inkling to learn something about that, you feel like you've tried everything and it just hasn't worked, your AA didn't work, NA didn't work, religion didn't work, then DM me here or contact me at thenoren.com so we can start having a conversation about getting yourself in and then out of your head and get you to become the best version of yourself so we can just have that addiction naturally fall off. Thank you, and I love you.